Hi, parents. My name is Lisa Meister, and I'm one of the health teachers here at Geneva High School. I've been teaching here at Geneva since 2002, and before that, I taught for 2 years at Waubonsie Valley High School in Aurora. To give you a little bit of background information about me, I did my undergraduate degree at Illinois State University. I have two master's degrees, one from North Central College and one from National Louis, and I earned my National Board certification in health education in 2012. I also volunteer on various state level committees for health education professional organizations. To give you a little bit of information about health class in general, it is a one semester class that is taught during the sophomore year. It does replace PE for the semester, so students will be back in PE in the spring. The grade does go on the GPA, and it is required both by the school for graduation and by the state of Illinois. So if students do fail health class the first time around, they do have to repeat it. But we try really hard not to let that happen. If we start to notice that students are slipping or we're seeing a pattern of homework that's not being completed or tests that students are struggling with, you'll hear from me because we want to make sure that we have a partnership with the parents. To give you a little bit of an overview on the units that we have for this class, we start off with a unit on personal wellness, which is like an introduction to health and wellness. We talk about decision-making styles and goal-setting skills. The students also create a project called the Health Behavior Contract, where students are going to set a health-related goal that they're going to track their own progress on to see what helps motivate them and what is hindering them. We also have a unit on nutrition and related diseases, where we build upon what they already learned about the macronutrients in middle school, but we also talk about related diseases. So things like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and stroke. We have a really important unit on mental health. And the reason why this is really important is because suicide is the second leading cause of death for their age group. And a lot of times it's because students feel like they're alone in their feelings. So while we do talk about some you know, easier topics like stress and time management, we do also talk about some tougher topics, things like eating disorders and depression, grief, suicide. But we also talk about things like building resiliency and coping skills. We talk about laughter. We talk about ways that you can feel confident going to seek out a trusted adult if you have any kinds of concerns about yourself or a friend. So it's a really important unit for students to work through and to learn how to cope with uncomfortable feelings. Okay. We also have a unit on alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs where we talk about short-term and long-term effects. We talk about addiction and enabling behaviors. We also talk about things like decision making when it comes to drugs, and we do a research project in that class. We also talk about sexuality and reproduction. We have a comprehensive sex ed program, which means we talk about the science behind things like the reproductive anatomy, pregnancy and pregnancy prevention. And we also talk about the social and emotional side of relationships, things like decision making and communication. We also talk about things like how to identify an unhealthy relationship and how to get out of one safely. We have a unit on communicable diseases. So we talk about how diseases are transmitted from person to person with the chain of infection, how the immune system works. And we also talk about common sexually transmitted infections, their transmission, their symptoms, their treatments, and prevention. And then we wrap up the semester with a unit on first aid and safety. We go through an American Heart Association course where students have the opportunity to earn certification in adult, child, and infant CPR, AED, and first aid skills. That certification lasts for 2 years, so students are able to put that on job applications, which is really beneficial for them.